Right into this world, all alone.
What's that? Oh, his little diaries. Man, he's been busy, huh? Oh. No more white sneakers. That's the first, and probably a last, huh? He burned his diaries and JT's script? He asked for the script just to destroy it. Wow, that's convenient, huh? Tara's grave, so close to Opie's. I'm surprised they even got that spot.
Love you, sweetheart.
I love you too, Jax.
Two less close-ups for her. Check.
Right now, let's vote on something that actually makes sense. Tio.
Beautiful. Then I nominate Tadarius Orwell Cross.
What a fucking name is that?
His name is Tadarius.
Call him that and see what happens.
He should have the top rocker.
I guess James T. Kirk was inspiration here. Tadarius.
Get him.
Tadarius.
Welcome, my brother.
Shit. Can't believe it.
Me neither. Actually, this doesn't really feel special, since we hardly know this guy.
I think I'm good. Maybe just pick up some snacks, all right?
Sure. Stuff with a lot of sugar, right?
Yeah. So Abel can run alongside the car.
Let him run in front. Like to see that. What was that? This better be a trap. I mean, why would he just show up there and immediately start shooting instead of trying to get away unnoticed? Probably just so we could hear this song, huh? I was waiting for that. I was even thinking about it. Saying something like, Tico will love this.
What's going on, Nero? Is Gemma okay? I'm not an idiot.
Guess
I know
again.
something bad happened.
I know you're not an idiot, Chucky.
Of course he's an idiot. He's never been anything but. Just remember his introduction. He even suspected Jax. But not Gemma. Good job, Wayne. Good job. I mean, that's even hilarious. He didn't even figure it out. Jax had to tell him.
That recommendation was a mayhem vote.
Mother of Christ, Jack. That's just not going to happen.
You need to hear me out. All right?
Well, maybe start speaking.
Bring them all up. Should be okay?
I don't think so. I think Jax just spoiled the end of this episode for him.
This is how you learn to be a leader, brother. Doing the shit that hurts the most. Shit you'd rather make someone else do. Part of the gig. It's how you earn respect.
It's a bit silly that he teaches Chips some lessons here about leadership. He's like 15, 20 years older. No, 20 probably not.
We underestimated Connor's paranoia.
I don't know where the hell he is. If we couldn't beat it out of him,
No more beatdowns. I need you to call Connor. Tell him you got away from the Kings, you found a way out.
he knows Rook grabbed me. He's not gonna walk into a trap.
Dude, I can see your mic under your whatever you're wearing.
Christ!
See that construction worker there in the distance? That guy doesn't give a shit about the shorts.
Any idea why Jax Teller wants to see me?
Maybe ask him.
Has Answer been of any use?
Yeah, he's a good cop.
He's a good cop. That's why he solved the terror murder.
Policing streets owned by outlaws is a complicated and dangerous dance. Getting close, but not too close. You are the right person for the job. I still believe that.
How very wrong you are. She's got way too close.
Rourke said you had access to AKs and Glocks. Rogue IRA members or some shit.
Aye. And what kind of volume are you promising?
Why is Alvarez here? What does he have to do with this?
It's always a pleasure to see you, Mr. Rourke.
Where's Declan?
He's dead.
Good riddance.
We have a new plan for you and your rogue guns. Alvarez.
That's why Alvarez is here.
Put the plates on your dad's bike.
Thank you.
Oh, he will drive his daddy's bike eventually. Probably the last thing he will ever ride.
My piece of Diosa and Redwoody go to the MC and to the Dummy Corp. They should use the profits to buy scoops. Set that up as home base. Hale will sell it to us cheap.
Hale! He hasn't been in the season at all. The actor had no time for a little cameo.
I'm leaving, Nero. You know why.
Gemma.
I'm sorry. I did what I know how to do. This is who I am. I can't change. I need you to promise that you'll make sure that my boys leave this place, that they don't become what I've become.
Jax.
Ah, Chucky. Bad timing. Can't you let grown men cry for a minute? Ah.
Where you gonna go?
Afterlife.
What am I gonna tell Wendy?
Everything.
No more lying. That's your legacy. Your true legacy.
Hey, little monster, man.
He was smiling. Can't remember seeing him smile. Ever.
Listen to Nero, okay? He's Daddy's best friend. What he says goes.
Okay.
You have fun.
Okay.
Enjoy all those animals, okay?
Ooh, another smile. They're really feeding us some sugar with the last episode.
What's the matter, Jax? What happened?
Everything's gonna be fine.
Please stop saying that. That's like the new I promised.
You gonna tell me what's going on?
I will. Not now.
Just leave already, so Nero gets out alive too.
Take care, Chucky.
The bike looks almost too small for him. But I'm no expert.
Whatever this is or was, it's done.
You want to play this game again?
Patterson got to her. Such a shame, huh? This was such a nice love story between these two.
This is a statement by Jax Teller, president of the Sons of Anarchy Motorcycle Club, the Redwood Charter.
Redwood original. Gemma Tala killed Tara in a fit of rage. And then Juice, Juan Carlos Ortiz, killed Eli Roosevelt.
How do you know that?
She admitted it. So did Juice.
Unfortunately, both of them are dead.
What about Henry Lynn and all the other bodies that dropped?
That was also Gemma. And Juice.
What happens at the end of the day?
The bad guys lose.
Almost missed the door handle there. He had to look down and check. I like those little details.
Jax Taylor. Meets Mr. Mayhem.
How about Mrs. Mayhem? Making it more pleasant? Don't fear the Reaper. Oh right, the Lord of the Dogs is still alive, right? Just shoot him.
Well, look who it is. What can I do?
Not even saying anything. Top. No fucks given.
Who are you?
It's time.
Okay. You left your bottle of whatever it is. Wine and bread. Awesome.
What time city council meeting?
6 o'clock.
Let's do it after that. I want Ramirez there.
Oh, he's resilient. He's fighting. Look at him. Happy bumped his head. Those little details. Tick as VP. Good choice. What? You wanted him dead. But of course he's the last remaining original besides Chip. Chips. Jax, you bad boy. You escaped and shot at your own men.
I love all of you.
I heard that before. Do you really have to chew some gum? Happy's best acting right there. What did he tell him? I couldn't understand it. Oh, that's what I need. A whispering Scot.
I got this.
Nice callback to Opie.
I think the struggle I understand best, even more than all the things you wanted for Sam Crow.
Of course, we have to end on a monologue.
I realized, as I think you did,
There's a car coming.
a good father and a
Is
good
that
outlaw
planned or
can't
just
settle
coincidence?
inside the same man.
It's cops. One last chase.
I need you to get off the bike. Listen, back up. Shots fired.
He did not even try to shoot back. Very impressive. One last Venus scene. Check. One last cleavage shot. Check. Jesus fucking Christ. 5 cars and a couple of bikes. I bet she's faking it. Nos? What does that mean? Nos. One last over the top scene. Check. Jesus, over 10 cars. Yeah, right. Why aren't they playing Free Bird? Missed opportunity. How many cars are there by now? Like 20? Maybe they should send some people from the other side? He's going out like his father. Blood and bread. I was really ready to cry, but they just overdid that last scene. That chase at the end, that was just too ridiculous. That took me completely out. Alright, thank you to Record Me. I take it from here. With my final statement to this episode, this season, this show, life in general, and whatever else I can think of, which probably won't be much. So, where do you even start? After 1 year of Sons of Anarchy, it's over. What are you going to say? I don't know. The most obvious topic is how the season sucked and drained the life out of me. That's the life in general topic I mentioned. I guess the easiest thing to do would be to just list all the flaws, of which there are many. So, maybe start with the positive first. Usually I don't even mention positives. Usually you can tell what I like by just watching my initial reaction. Not these afterthoughts. But yeah, what did I like? I guess looking back at the entire show, from the very first episode to this last one, I think it's safe to say that the overall story was pretty amazing. And I don't just mean the journey of Jack Steller, who was haunted by his family's past and constantly torn between good and evil, but also the story arcs of several other members of the show, like Clay's and Gemma's arc, or Opie's, or even Juice's. All those highly dramatic and tragic stories were really fascinating to watch and kept you invested despite all the flaws surrounding them. The same can be said about the entertainment value of the show. Despite all the flaws, it never really stopped entertaining me. Even the most boring or most flawed episodes were still at least 1/3 entertaining. And just for those two reasons, watching the show was definitely worth it. But, having said that, I'm glad it's over. Because in the end it was pretty clear that they were running on fumes, that the show had hardly anything left to tell. which explains why we were treated to stories like Chips and Jerry, Red and Brooke, The Bastards Return, that drug mother and her weird son who were the downfall of Marx. Pretty uninteresting stuff that you just don't care about. And that sums up this entire last season. There was just too much going on that didn't matter, or stuff that did matter, but was only introduced this season, so that it felt forced, and the conclusions that were a result of that stuff didn't feel earned. I already mentioned that drug mother and her son, the pastor's family that was the downfall of Marx. What? Making up an important story element like that just feels cheap. And forced, like I said. How was any of that deserved? And to even add insult to injury, they even try to make it look like it's deserved. Because it was such a poor pastor family that Marx abused there for his own personal gain. Boo-hoo. Welcome to this outlaw world, I'd say, where nobody is innocent. So why should I even care about it? If one criminal brings down another criminal by doing something criminal, how is that deserved? It's not. It's absolutely meaningless. And that's another big problem of this season. This big gang war between the Suns, Marx, Chinese, Mayans, Niners. Why should I care who wins that war? If all those different sides are interchangeable. If all of them are just criminals. If all of them only care about making money. It doesn't matter. Would anything have changed if Marx had won? If Marx and the Chinese? And instead the Mayans and the Niners would have been dead? Or would anything have changed if the Suns were wiped out? Well, the answer is no. There are just two parties less involved. And the parties who still are involved are criminals. The fuck do I care? I mean, judging by the gang relations in the show, from start to finish, it's just a matter of time until shit starts again. Also, another problem with this gang war was that we hardly knew these groups. Not really. The Mayans were 90% Alvarez. The Chinese were 90% Lin. Marx's organization was 90% him. And the Niners were 90% Tyler. And before Tyler was a thing, it was 90% Leroy. You had these big major players fighting, and yet no idea who they really were, because they were represented by only one face for the most time, which of course is the reason why they came up with a right-hand man for Marx, and also a right-hand man for Lin. But once again, only this season, which is too late to connect to those new characters. But at least they noticed that without them, this gang war would have been even emptier than it was. But even with them, it was pretty damn uninteresting to watch. Which is a problem if it's half of this season's story. The second part of the story was obviously much more interesting, since it was the story that was built up from the very beginning. The story that has always haunted Jax, whether he knew it or not. But even that story they couldn't really manage to pull off convincingly. At least not initially. Although I get what they tried to do here. It was all about that father-son legacy theme that ran through the entire show. So using the newest generation, the third generation, to bring down the first, that has started all this shit. It does make sense. And if you just look at that arc from the beginning to the end, it's like I said at the beginning, it's pretty amazing. But that's the problem right there. Because they were so focused on that pretty amazing idea that they forced the story in that direction just so they could make it happen, instead of letting the story flow naturally. And that's pretty much what led to this forced, unconvincing last season. What led to plot holes, story and character inconsistencies, contrivances, conveniences. Pick your favorite writer's sin. You will find it in this show. Anyway, I guess that's it for now. I actually have a couple of other things in mind, other flaws, or just further explanations of what I've already said. But I think, at the general last statement, that's it. So, if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments and we can have a little discussion there. But for a video I think that's enough. I'm not really known for my lengthy afterthoughts anyway, so might as well call it a night.